How many of you guys like to travel? All right, cool, we have something in common already. So I'm going to talk about the importance of travel, and the reason why I find it important may or may not be similar to yours. But I'm going to start off by showing you a video that I made about my most recent trip to Dubai. So when my family and I were planning this trip to Dubai, I was a little skeptical. I didn't really know what to expect, so the only thing I could take into account were all the horror stories that I heard about Islam in the media. But being an active member of the media community, I knew that oftentimes news websites will alter the way that they portray their stories in order to get more attention. In fact, it's called A/B testing. This is where you take two different versions of a website and change perhaps the spelling of the title or the wording, or maybe the images used within the article. And the version of the article that gets the most amount of clicks is the one that ends up being published. So when I considered this, I really didn't know how I would separate fact from fiction. I didn't know what to expect when I was going to be traveling to the Middle East. On another note, I went to Spain, Sevilla, Spain, last summer. I lived with two American roommates in a small room that was generously given to us by our loving host family. And our host family had two brothers, a sister in university, and a mother and a father. And after traveling thousands of miles by plane and bus, all I wanted to happen was to walk into a loving home, and that's exactly what did happen. They would tell us the ins and outs of the cities, where we should and shouldn't go, good places to eat, they would feed us all the time, we'd hang out with the kids, and really they would help us with our embarrassing translation errors too. And we got to a point where we forgot that we were speaking a different language, and this was really eye-opening to me. But even more so was when I told people I was going to go to Spain, They didn't question my safety or my vulnerability. And at the time, I didn't think twice about this. But that changed when I told people I was going to Dubai. When I told people I was going to Dubai, my peers and even teachers would respond in one of two ways. The first way is, why? The second one was, are you going to be safe there? And to the first one, I always answered, it's a prosperous city, it should be fun to explore. My answer to the second one was, I hope so. I really didn't know. And then I relayed that back to what happened when I told people I was going to Spain. They didn't even question the fact that I was going to be living with perfect strangers for a whole 2 weeks. But when I was going to Dubai with my family, 5 of my closest loved ones, in a hotel, that's when they questioned my safety. Which made me discover what a natural prejudice is. Everyone has it, from the moment we're born to our present state. And everything that we read, hear, or see forms our opinions. Therefore, everyone is subject to it, whether you deny it or accept it. It's these natural prejudices that eat away at us. It's that we can't separate the fact and fiction, just like I couldn't when I was discovering my trip to Dubai. My solution to shed these natural prejudices is to travel. It inherently breaks them down. When I first discovered that I was going to be traveling to Dubai, I had all these thoughts running through my head. I know it's a predominantly Islamic state, and I didn't know what to expect because the only thing I can consider are all these horror stories that I hear in the media. But then I traveled there. I interacted with the culture. I ate the food. I listened to the language. I walked the streets. And I quickly discovered that they were just as human as everyone else. They had the same basic human morals. All they want is to be happy and healthy. The best way to travel, in my opinion, although it's nice, is to stray away from the 5-star hotels and sandy beaches. I like to explore the destination. So as often as I can, I try to leave the hotel property and leave the buffets and go to local markets and explore the locality of the area. Because the best way to interact with a city or a village or a country is to interact with the indigenous people who live there every day and not just the remote American bubble. The best way to travel is to travel when you're young. And this is because, like how I mentioned earlier, traveling inherently breaks down your natural prejudices. And if you break them down early enough, then your opinions will be you'll have more time to apply these opinions to others and to inspire others to break down their own natural prejudices. And I think this is very valuable. But traveling's hard, it's no secret. Money, time, or other commitments, it's very difficult. And whenever I want to travel spontaneously with friends, I often find myself having to pay for it all on my own. But when I travel with my family, it's a great cost. So being an active member in the filmmaking community, I wanted to solve this problem because I know the value that traveling gives me, and it would be selfish to not give that to other people who are less fortunate. So that's why I bring my camera everywhere I go. I capture everything, every aspect of the culture, from the food, from the language, to the people. And maybe you felt like when you were watching my video of Dubai that you were there. Maybe you felt like you were thousands of miles away, interacting with the culture. That's my goal. Maybe you felt like your own natural prejudices were breaking down. Just maybe. Because I know the value of travel, and I want to share it with everyone else. Here is a very faded map of the world. Every blue country is the one that I've been to, and where you can't see is where I haven't been. If you're thinking right now that I haven't been many places, I will 100% agree with you. But my argument to that is that it only takes one time. So the first time I traveled internationally, it was like a detox. I could feel my morals becoming more transparent. I felt like a better person. And one day, I guarantee this map will be mostly blue. And I'm also fascinated by the concept of limited time. The fact that our lives exist on this bounded spectrum with an end that is definite. Now this is very discouraging to some, but for me it's inspiring. That gives me a reason to seize the day, to make use of my time, my daily 24 hours, to travel now. Because at the end of the day, there are 7 billion people and growing in this world, and I see that as 7 billion friends to make.